Hi, everyone, and welcome to our November edition of Tuesdays with Monday. I'm Hailee, and I'm joined by Reyna, Solution Consultant at Purple Plum Consulting. Each month, we highlight how teams across industries are using Monday.com to work smarter, streamline operations, and drive measurable results. Today's topic is real estate capital project management with Monday.com. If you manage property acquisitions, renovations, or investment portfolios, you know how critical it is to have visibility across every moving part. So that's where Monday.com comes in, and today we'll walk you through real world use cases, we'll show you live demos, and we'll wrap up with a Q&A and a quick bonus tip before we close out. So here's what we'll cover in the next 30 minutes. We'll cover a few common use cases that real estate capital management teams face every single day and how Monday.com helps them solve that. Then we'll move into a live demo where we'll show you these workflows in action. Then finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A and a bonus tip. Okay, and with that, let's dive into some of the most common challenges that we see in real estate capital project management, and more importantly, how Monday.com can help them solve those issues. So let's pass things over to Reyna, who's going to walk us through 3 specific examples: acquisitions, renovations, and portfolio visibility.
Thank you very much, Hailee. So let's start with the acquisitions board, which is the entry point for every real estate investment. So at this stage, every team are evaluating multiple opportunities at once, coordinating documents, tracking deadlines, and like a lot of moving parts that are really hard to manage. So with Monday, we brings an structure to that entire process, which is centralized pipeline. Everybody sees the status on each deal, who's responsible, all the information. So it gives your team the visibility and alignment, everything in just one single place. And more important, it creates kind of a clean handoff into the next steps once the deal is approved. Once a deal closes, the next big focus is renovations or capital projects. So this is a team manage contractor budgets, timelines, approvals, documentations. So without a system, it's very easy to get things fall through the cracks. So Monday centralize, again, everything in a connected workflow. So you could track progress, monitor costs, coordinate vendors, so everybody keeps aligned with real-time updates. So it gives operations, project managers, finances, and even the stakeholders a shared sort of truth, so project stayed on schedule and within budget. Once acquisitions and renovations are underway, the next step is the portfolio visibility. So leaderships want a clear view of asset performance, capital allocations, return of investments, and financial health. So without needing to pull data from different tools. So Monday again, bring all together with a centralized assets or portfolios. Teams can easily see the financial trends, asset status, capital distributions, performance in real time. So this eliminates manual reporting and give decision makers consistency and accurate insights that they can rely on. So let's go ahead and see this in action. So let's start with the acquisitions or deals pipeline. This is where every new investment opportunity begins. The board is structured by stage, so we can clearly follow each property from sourcing to closing. Each row represents a property, so we could define all the key details at a glance, including the deal type, the region, the loan amount, finances status, equity percentage, lender, expected closing dates, and so much more information depending on the needs of each company. This setup allows the acquisition team to track the entire pipeline in one place and understand at any given moment what is under negotiation or what is actually ready to close. Now, for example, if we go to the dashboard view, we have an instant overview of the portfolio health, the total purchase price, the average equity percentage across the portfolio, and a visual breakdown by deal types, financing status, stage progression, etc. So, with this dashboard, the team balance the workload and priorities. For example, if most deals are still in due diligence or sourcing, well, probably indicates that where the attention is needed. Why this dashboard is important? Well, it provides kind of a big picture and the granular details. Decision makers can easily see how much capital is in the play, what financing mix look like, and how close each deal is to closing. So without having to open multiple spreadsheets, reports, or emails. Once a deal moves from acquisition into active ownership, the next critical step is execution. And that's where these renovation and capital projects trackers becomes essential. So if the acquisition board tell us what we're bringing into the portfolio, these boards show how we manage and improve those assets once they're under our control. Every capital project is centralized here, so we will have a clear visibility in terms of scopes, type, timeline, the project impact, the budget, and even the responsible for the execution or management. This structure matters because during the first month of the ownership of any property, the teams need a reliable way to track renovations, to track upgrades, and improvement without losing information across emails, spreadsheets, and disconnected tools. So, by keeping everything in a single place, leadership can monitor progress and ensure projects stay aligned in terms of priorities and operational goals. So each project also opens into a dedicated cost details panel where the invoices, draws, and approvals are fully organized and accessible directly into the project. Also, the Gantt view help us visualize how the timelines overlap across the entire properties, making easier to coordinate resources and avoiding scheduling conflicts. And also the dashboard that consolidates budget allocation, the total spent, the progress of across all the portfolio distribution, which give the stakeholders a real time and a portfolio wide view of all Capital's activities. So if the acquisition boards tell us what we acquired, these boards show us how we execute, how we monitor the process, and how we maintain full financial and operational visibility across every single project. Now that we have seen how value is created from the initial deals pipeline or the acquisitions board all the way through capital improvements, we need a place where everything comes together. And this is our portfolio or asset masters. And that's where the portfolio or assets masters becomes essential. So this board acts as a central hub of the entire portfolio. It consolidates every property, its status, its value, the return of investments, and all the financial performance in one single place. But what really stand out here is that instead of using traditional dashboard that we could perfectly use, we are also using a Monday Vibe dashboard, which is a completely different experience and is designed through Monday Vibe, one of the latest AI features that Monday.com has. So Vibe, it is a cleaner, more visual, and more focused on insights. It doesn't show just charts. It actually tells you the story. It tells us how many active assets we have, the average return of investments, the total value of the portfolio, and how all those numbers are trending or not. I can switch between different perspectives, for example, from portfolio overview to financial performance or asset distribution without building multiple dashboard or setting thousands of widgets like I would have to do before Monday Vibe. So everything feels unified and very intuitive. And because it's fully connected, all the data flows automatically into these dashboards. Return of investments and financial status are pulling the data directly from this board. The renovations and capital projects that were completed or still in progress update these metrics in real time. And I can also even open these cards here to get a fully financial summary, key details, and performance insights about each property. So this is the view of an investor or the executive relies on. It answers all the big questions instantly. What is the worth? How we are performing? And where should we focusing next? Essentially, hold the portfolio, but live, connected, and insight driven.
Thanks, Reyna. That was such a great walkthrough. So we've had a few questions come in that I'd love your help answering. So let's start with this one. Can Monday.com integrate with our existing systems?
Yeah, absolutely. So Monday integrate with most commonly used tools in real estate like QuickBooks, DocuSign, Google Drive, SharePoint, and through Make or APIs, we can also connect tools like Yardi, AdFolio, and any other internal accounting system. So the level of integrations depend on the workflows, but the platform is very flexible.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so can this scale if we manage dozens of properties and hundreds of projects? Can Monday.com handle all of that?
Yes, actually, this is a pretty great question. Actually, this structure scales extremely well. So whether you manage 5 properties or 150, the workflows is staying the same. It's just you adding more and more data. So Monday handles largest portfolio through connected boards, dashboards, and automations. So everything grows with you without becoming harder to manage.
It's great to know I can handle 5 properties or 150 properties.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. What if different departments need to see different views? So maybe like transaction team, the brokers. How do you recommend teams handle that?
Well, that's exactly what Monday does best. You can handle one central structure, but each team can get their own views. Acquisitions, project managers, finances, leadership, everybody will see the same data, but just presented in a way that is more relevant to the role.
It's great to know Monday can be used across various different departments. Okay, so thank you for your insights, Reyna, and thank you for walking through those answers and the demos. So before we wrap up, I want to share one quick bonus tip with everyone to get even more value out of
All
Monday.com.
right. So before wrapping up, let me leave you a quick bonus tip that can definitely help you improve the data across your team. So inside the acquisition board, you may notice that some of the column has this little red asterisk. So that pretty much means that I make those columns as required. So why this is important? Actually, because at the moment that someone tries to add a new property, what Monday will do automatically is open this clean item creation card where those required fields have to be filled in. So these simple steps solve a very real problem, which is the teams forgetting to enter critical information or leave half of the items blank. By making just a few fields mandatory, you are guaranteeing that every opportunity enters in your pipeline complete, standardized, and ready for analysis without having to chase later on anyone or clean the data later. So this keeps your pipeline clean, your dashboards accurate, and reporting consistent and automatically. So that's everything that I have for today. Thank you very much for.
Okay, that brings us to the end of today's Tuesdays with Monday session. Thank you so much to Reyna for sharing your expertise and sharing all of your insights with us. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. If you'd like to rewatch this session or explore other webinars in our series, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll be back next month with a new topic, and we can't wait to see you there. So reach out to Mark, who is on the screen, for our sales team if you'd like to learn more about Purple Plum Consulting. And thanks again for joining. We'll have a great rest of your day and hope to see you again next time.